My girlfriend led me to believe I got her pregnant, but I found out it wasn't mine after the birth. I've been on Reddit for a while and began lurking this up when I first suspected my girlfriend was cheating. I had hoped I wouldn't be here posting, but here we are. I 28 meters have been with my girlfriend 25F for just about 2 years. The relationship was good. And then she tells me she's pregnant. For the most part, I'm careful. And she said she was on birth control. I was skeptical, but went to an appointment. I then figured it was just one of those things. I always wanted a family. So even though this was not how I wanted to begin, I was overjoyed. We're past the first trimester, and I have her move in at her insistence. Insert red flag I missed. We're planning what we will do work-wise and how to set up the baby's room. She is pretty insistent she will go back to work but be able to stay home. She swears she can make it work. I go to every appointment with her. Things are still good. We're in the 3rd trimester, and I make my schedule work to still go to every appointment. Up until this point, I had been at each appointment in its entirety. This one appointment, she asks me to wait so she can talk to the doctor first. I'm super concerned that something is wrong with the baby, and she didn't want me to hear. I go in, and the checkup is done. Everything looks good. My girlfriend brushes off my concern over why I couldn't be there for all of it. Another red flag. We're about a month and a half from the due date, and I notice her being kind of secretive with phone calls and texts. She tells me it's work and it's confidential, etc. My antenna is now up, so I try to get looks at her phone. She's got Snapchat and Kik. I find it strange, but don't confront her. The baby is born, and I'm overwhelmed with emotion. The child is perfect, and things went fine. Then comes the part where they want me to go on the birth certificate. My girlfriend becomes really insistent about it. She's constantly asking me to do it, and seems way more anxious than I've ever seen her. Here's the red flag I didn't miss. I don't do it. We have an argument, but she stops pushing. I think it's because she knows how suspect it looks already. We're home, and she has to go tend to the baby after it woke up. I noticed she set her phone down to go to the baby. I couldn't help it and looked. It was still unlocked. I start looking for texts or calls. I then find a whole conversation on Kik with a guy. All the updates of her appointments, pictures of her and the baby. Then I see it. The place she says she thinks it's his child. I confront her, and she apologizes. She admits the baby could be mine or someone else's, but she thinks it's mine. I demand a paternity test and leave. It's been about a week since the confrontation. The results came in yesterday, and the baby isn't mine. She's gone to live with her mother. Here's the best part. It took me a lot of digging. Seeing as all I had were usernames she talked to him with. The father is her boss. The secrecy was for him. The boss with a wife and for kids in middle and high school. I found the wife on Facebook and sent her all I had, including texts from my girlfriend saying it's his. I'm heartbroken in so many ways. I'm lucky in a lot of ways here, but I'm so hurt. This has completely changed my whole outlook. I'm bitter, angry, and untrusting. I have no idea how to recover from this. I warned her. My ex 29F and I 29 meters met in college in 2013. I was 22 and she was 21. We became fast friends and eventually developed feelings for each other. We became a couple a year later. It was a great relationship, and I don't regret it. Fast forward to 2016. I was home when she called me, saying she was outside and that we needed to talk. So I went outside and saw that she was crying in her car. I went up to her and asked what was wrong. She confessed that she cheated on me. I was shocked, hurt, and teared up. She went on saying that we needed to break up because I deserved better than her, and that she developed feelings for App. I warned her about rushing into a relationship with someone else, and that a relationship that begins by cheating usually ends badly. After we finished talking, I walked back to my house, but before I went in, I turned around to see her one more time, and she was still crying. Once I went inside, she posted on social media, saying I wish I could just disappear with a crying emoji. I proceeded to remove her from social media after that. As I was mourning the end of my relationship, I also thought about how her new relationship would blow up in her face. Fast forward 2 years later, she messaged me asking to meet up because she wanted to talk. I knew the day had arrived, so I met her at a diner. I live in New Jersey, and she was miserable. She looked like she had been crying before we met up. When she saw me, she gave a weak hi, and I gave her a cold one. This surprised her and got teary-eyed. I started by asking her what she wanted to talk about. She started saying that she and App broke up 2 weeks ago and admitted that the relationship with him was horrible. It turns out he was a narcissist who emotionally abused her. She also admitted that the guilt of what she did to me never went away, and that I was right. She then noticed my emotionless expression and turned away, saying, "You used to be so happy and silly. It hurts seeing you like this, and I know it's my fault because of my bad, selfish, and dumb decisions." She went on to say, "I'm sorry for everything. I thought about you every day for the past 2 years." She then said, "Not only did I ruin us, but I lost my best friend. You were my best friend, and I ruined that." She started crying again, saying, "I'm not here to get back together because I don't deserve that, and I have no right to ask that." I proceeded to say, "It's true that you don't deserve me." It got quiet, and she turned away again. Then she said that she missed me, and that she missed me for 2 years. Then she asked me to be friends again. I told her I can't promise anything. She started crying for the final time, and I left the diner. As I was walking out, I turned over, and she was still crying. How history repeats itself in the end. Cheating ruins the cheater and the victim. Never cheat, it's usually never worth it. Update. So because I got numerous requests, I'm going to post what happened after I left the diner. Hi everyone. I have decided to do an update. This will be my only update since there's nothing else to say afterwards. Before I go any further, I have some things to clarify about my original post. 1. The app was emotionally abusive. I know because my ex showed me her texts, and they were full of "no one will ever love you like me," and "you're ugly." Also, he broke up with her by text. What a scumbag too. She did try to reach out to me multiple times during the 2 years she was with App. She asked how I was doing. "I'm sorry, and are you okay?" I ended up not responding. I didn't block her because I was waiting for when her relationship blew up. 3. Friends and family actually saw her during the 2 years, and they all said the same thing. She looked miserable, and when she saw them, she would run up to them and ask how I'm doing, and to tell me that she will never stop being sorry. 4. The diner meeting happened in 2018. Now back to the story. After I got home from the diner, she messaged me saying, "If we become friends again, I'll work my butt off to earn back your trust, and if not, please know I'll always be sorry for everything." Fast forward a year later, and I bumped into her while buying lunch. We caught up, and I wasn't as cold as before. I will admit, I'm a little embarrassed about what I did next. I offered her a FWB with me, and she accepted. The FWB lasted for a few months. When I look back, I think I did it for closure, and to show her what she's missing. I ended it because I felt that I got my closure. She was disappointed, but also understood. A few months later, she started seeing someone new, and they dated until early 2020 before the pandemic hit. She showed up to my home unannounced and revealed to me that the new guy cheated on her with multiple women and actually blamed her for the cheating. Just like the app, the new guy broke up with her by text. Wow. She went on saying how much she hated herself for what she did to me. But now she understands how I felt. I gave her a hug and told her to take these lessons and never forget them. She thanked me and left. Fast forward to now. I heard she's in it and remains single by choice. I saw her mother recently, and she informed me. As for me, I'm single, working on myself. I'm getting into shape, and I'm working in psychology. Guess what inspired me?